Stephen Smith. I'm with Christian Leadership Partners. And for the last 9 days, what we've been doing is we've been actually going through and providing you with the free coaching session. These coaching sessions are available on all the different social media platforms, and we really do encourage you to share this with others, because if we can change the world one person at a time, then we'll actually start making a huge difference in the way that we perceive things and the way that we receive things in our lives. So why not join us? I encourage you to download a copy of the notes down below, because if you follow along, it'll make it that much more valuable to you. Now, what we've been doing is we've been working recently on our goals. And for the last 9 days or so, we've been writing down our goals every single day, and we should see them starting to progress in a logical sense. What we want to do today is we want to reassess those goals. Now, it's important for us to write down our goals today as well. But as we write them down, we want to take a look and see if we've actually achieved any of them, or if there's anything that needs to change about them, or if maybe there's a goal that we need to just get rid of and set aside. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to give up on it, but we're just going to set it aside and start working on it a little bit later on as we go along. But I really do encourage you to be able to do this. So this reassessment of our goals will be huge in our step forward, and we'll actually start looking at the assessment of our goals in the next week or so. I also encourage you to join us on Sundays at Friendship Church, because these are live sessions that you can actually come to and see a huge difference in your life. So join us this Sunday between 10:15 and 10:45. I think that you'll see a huge difference in your life. So what we've been doing is we've actually been going through a chapter of Proverbs every single day. And what we want to do is we want to recognize the value of what Solomon has written for us. And this fits perfectly into our coaching sessions, because everything that he talks about are the things that we really want to change in our own lives. For example, today, Proverbs 9, 10, and 11 tells us, "Fear of the Lord is the foundation of wisdom. Knowledge of the Holy One results in good judgment. Wisdom will multiply your days and add years to your life." Now, that's good advice for anybody, whether it's coming out of the Bible or whether it's coming out of the mouth of me or someone else. But what we really want to do is we want to start pursuing wisdom, exactly like what Solomon had said. Proverbs 9 gives us 3 different views of wisdom and its value for us. The first thing is that it talks about wisdom as a person that's actually calling us. Wisdom is calling you. Did you know that? And if wisdom is calling you, maybe we should concentrate on responding to that. Solomon also gives us the value of wisdom and where it begins. Wisdom actually begins in the fear of the Lord. And we just read that, didn't we? And then the last part of this is that Solomon actually warns us against folly's call as well. Because not only do we have to listen to what wisdom says, we have to ignore what folly says. So we want to ignore folly and its role in our lives. We want to get that out of our lives and start focusing on the good. And that's the value of where we have our goals and where we want to progress. Now, Proverbs 9, chapter 9 goes like this. "Wisdom has built her house. She has carved its 7 columns. She has prepared a great banquet, mixed the wines, and set the table. She has sent her servants to invite everyone to come. She calls out from the heights overlooking the city. Come in with me, she urges the simple. To those who lack good judgment, she says, come, eat my food. Drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways behind and begin to live. Learn to use the good judgment. Anyone who rebukes a mocker will get an insult in return. Anyone who corrects the wicked will get hurt. So don't bother correcting mockers, they will only hate you. But correct the wise and they will love you. Instruct the wise and they will be even wiser. Teach the righteous and they will learn even more. Fear of the Lord is the foundation of wisdom. Knowledge of the Holy One results in good judgment. Wisdom will multiply your days and add years to your life. If you become wise, you will be the one to benefit. If you scorn wisdom, you will be the one to suffer. The woman named Folly is brash. She is ignorant and doesn't know it. She sits in her doorway on the heights overlooking the city. She calls out to men going by who are minding their own business. Come in with me, she urges the simple. To those who lack good judgment, she says stolen water is refreshing. Food eaten in secret tastes the best. But little do they know the dead are there. Her guests are in the depths of the grave. So what is Proverbs actually saying to you today? What we want to do is we want to make sure that we log this and put this down in our notes so that we can really understand the value of what Proverbs has in store for us. And remember, I've got a copy of notes that you can use down in the comment section below. I really encourage you to download a copy of that. If you're able to do that, then you'll be able to write down exactly what it is that Proverbs has said to you today. To me, Proverbs 9, 10, and 11 it says it the best. It says that fear of the Lord is the foundation of wisdom. Knowledge of the Holy One results in good judgment. Wisdom will multiply your days and add years to your life. It tells us how valuable wisdom really is. And this entire proverb really, although it's short, it gives us a great picture of how valuable wisdom can be, how we can treat wisdom as a person and start listening to them as if they were giving us advice and ignoring the information that folly gives us and trying to keep that out of our lives. So we want to set ourselves up for success and to be able to do that. So as promised, we also want to take a look at our goals. Let's reassess the goals that we've had for the last 9 days. Let's take a look at them. We want to see what we've achieved and what we still need to work on. So let's take a look at these and look through them. Now, if you've been keeping notes all the way along and from day 1 all the way through day 9, I encourage you to go through and look at your goals. Look at every single one of them, especially your short-term goals. We've been really focusing on our short-term goals because those are the ones that will make the biggest difference in your life here and now. If I make a difference in my life now, then I'm going to see a benefit now, and I'm going to stick with it. You see where I'm going with this? You want to stay positive with every single opportunity within our goals. And if we do this, and if we write these things down, then what happens is that we actually start seeing our goals come to pass. It isn't anything magic. What's happening is that you're actually implanting your goals into your subconscious. And if you can take your goals and if you can start, if they can start being as normal to you as breathing, as normal to you as walking up and down steps, as normal to you as chewing gum and walking up and down steps and breathing at the same time, then what will happen is that your goals will actually start to begin to manifest themselves. The more that they become habits, the more that they become a normal part of your life, and you'll stop thinking about the negative things and you'll start only focusing on the positive. And that's ultimately what our goals will have. So let's take a look at these goals again. We want to see what we've achieved. If you want to, you can put a little check mark next to them. You can highlight them and say, look, I've already done this, or I'm in the process of doing this. Because our goals may be to wake up and open up the Bible first thing in the morning, or our goal may be to read a chapter of Proverbs at night before we go to bed. Very simple, easy to do things that you can start at this very moment. Another thing may be that you want to get that degree that you've been looking forward to. Now that's not going to take a little bit more than just today, but you can start working on those sub-goals of putting in your applications to the colleges, taking your GRE if you want to get your master's. I mean, all the different things that you really want to do. The next thing that we want to do is we want to identify the things that we're still working on. Now, if I can identify what I'm still working on, then I know that I've got a goal and a purpose to be able to put these things to. And if I can do that, then I know that I'll continue to work towards the accomplishment of my goals. And the last thing that we want to do is we want to identify those things that need to change. If we have identified the negative behaviors like what we did 2 days ago, then we can actually start changing those things. Now, what we wanted to do yesterday was start taking these goals and putting them in place of the negative behavior so that we can start doing positive things rather than the negative things. It's exactly the same as ignoring Folly's encouragement or Folly's recommendations, right? We want to stick with wisdom and listen to what she has to tell us. Well, I hope that these goals and these coaching sessions have actually made a difference for you, and that they're making a difference not only in your life, but in those around you. Start asking those around you if they've actually seen change, if you've been able to implement these things. If you haven't been able to, let's put our nose to the grindstone and actually start progressing. If we can do that, then we know that we can be successful and we can go out and be miracles going someplace to happen.